Hey guys, I hope you're all well and have had a nice relaxing weekend and start to the week. It's Tuesday, so if you're getting Domino's, have one on me. Mine's a pepperoni passion and half ham and pineapple. I know, pineapple, fruit on a pizza, but I love it. I can't help it. I'm sorry if you disagree. Let me know in the comments if you do and we can hash it out over whether pineapple should or shouldn't be on pizza. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for this video. It's my first generalised video where I said I would talk about video games, tattoos. So the chicken nugget challenge has been done a lot already, and I don't think I could replicate it yet. I mean, I'm not such a massive fan of chicken nuggets. If it was a Domino's pizza eating challenge, I might do a video of that later at some stage. So I thought I'd go for a bog standard Q&A as my first video. I asked people on Twitter and my Facebook page to get in touch and to send me in their questions. So the first question is from Meg on Twitter, and she asks, what's the best concert you've been to and why? I've been to a lot of concerts. My first concert was 30 Seconds to Mars when I was 15 years old. That was still up there in my top 5 as one of the best. However, I think I'm going to have to go for Green Day. In 2009, they were my first big band that I fell in love with, and it was incredible to see them live. It was the first time I experienced t-shirt cannons being fired into the audience, and I almost caught one, much to my dismay and the joy of the little girl in front of me who snatched it. And I loved their music, and it was incredible to see live, and it was fantastic. So that was my favourite concert that I've ever been to. My next question comes from Shawnee on Twitter, and what's my favourite song of all time and why? This one was really hard, but I think it has to be The Sound of Silence by Simon & Garfunkel. It's such a haunting song, and the lyrics and the structure of the music and the recording techniques that we used were so fantastic for the time. It just is perfect. I can listen to it when I'm happy and be even happier for the fact I've listened to it, and I can listen to it when I'm sad and it can resonate with me and I can feel melancholic with that song. So I think it's great for me. I can kind of be in any mood and that will come on and I'll just let it play through. The next question is from Mark on Twitter. Do you enjoy sports? And if yes, what do you enjoy? So I kind of am going to interpret this in two ways. I love sports and I love playing sports, but the sports I love watching aren't the sports I love playing. The sports I love watching are football, rugby, tennis and golf, and the Olympics when they're on, because it's the Olympics. Sports that I love playing are American football and rugby, but predominantly American football. American football to watch is quite laborious because it's so long-winded with all of the adverts that cut in and all of the stoppages. However, it can create such intense moments of excitement, especially when you're playing it. But I think football would be my ultimate sport, and I don't blame my dad, but it's solely my dad's influence. He's football mad through and through. There's nothing that can compare to going to watch a football game. It is a real modern day Colosseum, and it's our gladiatorial games, and I think the passion that exudes from the players and the fans, I just think there's nothing can be beaten. Especially if you're at a game supporting your team and they score and thousands of people around you are just cheering and ecstatic and elated all in one moment, all together in unison. So I think there's nothing that can beat that. My next question comes from Mike on Twitter. What would your perfect day look like? So my perfect day would start out with Domino's Pizza and end with Domino's Pizza. In the middle there would be cider, preferably Kopparberg cider because it's to die for. Spent with friends, spent with family, preferably on a sunny beach, golden sand, crystal blue sea, sun lounges so that you can just walk in and out as and go as you please, a book, and good music. I think that would be my perfect day. My next question comes from Simba on Twitter. Who's been a great source of motivation and inspiration to you, and why? I could pick a celebrity, Arnold Schwarzenegger for example, The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin. They're big heroes of mine, but I couldn't think of anyone that would fit this description better than my dad. He has been the most incredibly brave and strong and compassionate parent that I could ever ask for, and has been with me through thick and thin when I've been at the lowest point in my life where I wanted to kill myself, and he's been there at the highest points in my life when I've achieved great things like passing my driving test or becoming head boy at my sixth form. He constantly inspires me. He has to go through so much to keep this family running and going and ticking over, and I couldn't imagine anybody that inspires me more than my dad. The next question is another one from Mike on Twitter, who asks, what are my views on artificial turf? And as my dad so eloquently put it earlier, you don't have to cut it. Future goals. This is a question from Dan on Twitter. My future goal is that this channel can provide a place for people to come and be inspired and find hope. And I know that when I was 15 and going through the lowest time in my life and the turmoil of OCD and depression, from 15 onwards really, that I felt I was alone, and I felt there were no other people in the world experiencing what I was going through. And I didn't know about any channels that were out there, or any programs or anything on radio or in the media. If I can be that place for someone that they can go to, then that would be enough for me. That would be my goal, to be there for people when they feel they've got no one else there supporting them. My next question is from Amy on Twitter. What are your favourite things to do for self-care? I love relaxing with music. That is probably my go-to. I know that if I need a pick-me-up, I will put a happy playlist on Spotify and I feel better about things. I also like to read. I like to dive into a video game. That just takes me away. And I'm obviously guilty of binging on Netflix. Eating food that you want to eat. Sometimes when you feel down and you feel like you have to stick to a strict regime of food, just give yourself a cheat day. And I am partial, as I mentioned earlier, to a bit of cider as well. So a little bit of alcohol every now and again in moderation does wonders for a bit of self-love and care. The next question is from Michelle on Twitter. What are your short and long-term goals? Well, the long-term goal I mentioned earlier from Dan's question would be for the channel. Short-term goals are to really ramp up my training for Tough Mudder, which I'm doing in August. The link will be below in the description for the Just Giving page. If you can donate, that would be fab. If you can't, please share it. Other than that, really, it's just keeping on track of my recovery with OCD and keeping in touch with my friends and making sure I'm going out and not letting myself get caught in a trap of thinking everything's okay. I just want to keep pushing myself all of the time. The next question is from Charlotte on Twitter. What is my favourite animal, and if I could be an animal for a day, what would I be? My favourite animal is a lion. I have a massive chest tattoo of a lion. I absolutely adore them. I think they're an incredible animal. The fact that they're a family orientated animal makes them even more special to me. And I think they're just majestic. I think just to experience 22 hours of decent sleep, having a bit of food and then going back to sleep again, that would be incredible. My next question is from Ariana on Twitter. Can you solve my life dilemma for me? Penguins or dinosaurs? So, dinosaurs are the greatest things that ever existed on planet Earth. I have a tattoo of Jurassic Park on my arm because that's one of my favourite films of all time. I love dinosaurs. The Natural History Museum in London is one of my favourite places to go in the world. So I'm sorry, but it's got to be dinosaurs. I know you love penguins, and I'm sure lots of other people watching this video love penguins as well. But dinosaurs has got to be it for me. Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by them. So it's got to be dinosaurs. And I think that ends it. I think you guys can keep sending in more questions. I'm sure over the course of time I'll do another Q&A video. But for now, I hope you have a good rest of your week. I'll be filming another video for Friday, which will be episode 2 of Inside the Biscuit Tin. I'll probably delve more into my story. It will probably be a longer video, and I hope it can be relatable, as the last one has seemed to be from the comments I've received. If you are watching these videos, thank you so much. If you are subscribing, thank you even more. Please tell your friends so they can subscribe. And as always, keep on liking, subscribing and sharing my videos. Until next time, adios.